All right, good afternoon and welcome to our second session of the Forum Summer Series. I'm Dean Miller, the President and CEO of PACT, the host organization of the Forum Conference. We're excited for this session. We're excited for the whole series. And to tell us a bit more about Forum, please welcome Suzanne Lentz, the Chief Marketing Officer for Forum host sponsor Anexinet. Anexinet has been a terrific supporter of PACT, of Forum in particular, and an incredibly growing organization based here in the Philadelphia region, serving clients broadly. Welcome, Suzanne.
Thank you, Dean. Good afternoon. Again, welcome to the second session of the Forum Summer Series. We at Anexinet are thrilled to be part of this new digital series and this panel, the urgency of digital leadership in a post-COVID-19 future. And it really couldn't be more of a pressing subject. Anexinet delivers intelligent, secure applications and the infrastructure to run them on. And these days, our focus has been helping clients reevaluate their 2020 and 21 goals and helping them accelerate the transformation that needs to happen to secure the remote workforce, modernize their infrastructure, and to better engage the folks who really matter the most to them, their customers, employees, prospects, and influencers, as well as secure and streamline all the processes to accommodate this new way of doing business. For over 20 years, this conference has been a go-to source of thought leadership on the digital transformation of enterprises. While we can't physically meet this year, we're happy to bring our community of enterprise leaders together on a regular basis throughout this summer series, culminating in 3 weeks of keynote content in October. Before we get started, allow me to review the basic house rules of today's program. Attendees' cameras and mics are not shared, but the chat window is open for all of your general comments. Please direct any questions to the Q&A window, which will be monitored throughout. Please have your mobile phones ready for a few poll questions during the program. Also, this webcast is being recorded. Today, I'm pleased to introduce author, academic, business leader, and innovator Scott Snyder, a partner at Heidrick Consulting, who will lead us through a discussion with Roger Cude, EVP of Humana, and Sarah Gretczko, Chief Learning and Insights Officer at Mastercard, to discuss how their businesses have been impacted and the steps they're taking to turn this time of disruption into one of opportunity. Scott?
Thanks, Suzanne, to you, Anexinet, and also PACT for making this panel happen. And super excited to have Roger and Sarah. I've had the opportunity to interact with both of them in the past. And I think even though both of their organizations are fairly traditional names that everybody knows about, Humana and Mastercard, I think both of these are examples of leaders who are kind of leaning in and really reimagining what the future of work could be like and driving some really novel programs within their own organizations. And I think you'll just see, even by their titles, they're not very traditional HR or even technology titles. It's really this mashup of this notion that the future of talent and the future of how organizations and operations organize and perform are very related. And I think as we get into this discussion, you also see that their approaches are unique and experimental, and they're really willing to continue to rethink it. And I think both of them would agree that there's no better time than now, right? I think we've all heard that phrase over and over again the last couple of months, don't let a good crisis go to waste. And I think both of these are leaders that certainly embrace that. Instead of playing defense, they're playing offense around what does that future workforce model look like? How can we build advantages in our business? So really excited to have both Roger and Sarah with us. And just before we kind of get into the panel questions, and we certainly want to hear them weigh in, I'll just kind of set a little bit of the stage here. So as much as we talk about digital transformation, and I know that's been one of the key topics of Forum for a couple of years now, we're still not getting there, right? We're still in this mode where most leaders and executives and even boards would say, 70% of them would say they haven't achieved the outcomes they want in digital transformation, despite spending an estimated $1 trillion globally over the last couple of years on digital transformation. So the input and the output is not matching the input, and somehow we're not getting there. And I think what you'll hear more about today is the human side of that. It's not the technology, it's not the process, it's how do we change the mindsets, the way we lead, the culture of the organization to lay the groundwork that we can really truly drive transformation across the org. And in the book Goliath's Revenge that I've talked about at Forum in the past, we talk about the 6 rules, having alignment around what your step change is in the future as an organization, balancing little I and big I, that continuous innovation around the core business, playing the current game better, and also the big I innovation to change the game in the future. You have to do both. Thinking of data as currency and driving a data mindset and data literacy across the organization is important no matter what industry you're in. Rule number 4 was this idea of opening up your assets to innovators outside your walls and tapping into those innovation networks to multiply your innovation capacity to keep up with this fast changing world. Number 5, valuing talent over technology. This idea of mashing up these new digital skills, these new ways of working with your institutional knowledge and expertise that make you unique and actually bring what you do to the market. And then the last one is reframing your purpose, probably more important than ever, given what's going on in the world, both socially and also from a global standpoint. What are you doing to change the planet and society, and how does that connect to your step change outcome that you're trying to drive as a company? So those were the 6 rules in the book, and they're not about the technology. They're about shifting the way we lead, organize, and behave as leaders and as a workforce.